Before we begin, here is a quick overview of the key concepts we will cover in this video. These definitions form the foundation of understanding religious discrimination and accommodation in the workplace. It's important to understand the difference between constitutional protections and workplace protections. The First Amendment applies to government actions and protects people from government interference with religious practice. Title VII applies to workplaces and requires employers to prevent discrimination and provide reasonable religious accommodations. Religious non-discrimination means that employers cannot treat employees differently because of their religious beliefs or lack of belief. Workplace decisions such as hiring, promotions, discipline, and scheduling must be made fairly and without regard to religion. Religious discrimination can happen in many ways. Examples include denying schedule changes for holy days, refusing religious dress or grooming practices, mocking or harassing someone for their beliefs, penalizing employees for prayer breaks, or requiring participation in employer-led prayer. A sincerely held belief does not have to come from an organized religion. It can be traditional, non-traditional, or personally practiced. What matters is that the belief is meaningful to the employee. A religious accommodation is a workplace adjustment that enables an employee to practice their beliefs. This might include shift swaps, modified dress or grooming rules, time for prayer, or adjusting non-essential job duties. To request an accommodation, an employee simply communicates that they need a workplace change due to a religious belief. Requests can be verbal or written and do not need to use legal terminology. The accommodation process begins when the employee communicates their need. A brief explanation is enough to start the process. The employer should acknowledge the request quickly. This builds trust and ensures the employee understands the next steps. The interactive process is a respectful conversation to understand the belief, the job requirements, and possible solutions. Together, the employee, HR, and management identify possible accommodations. Flexibility and creativity help find a workable option. The employer reviews each option to determine if it creates undue hardship. This means increased cost, safety concerns, or major disruption to operations. The decision is provided in writing. It explains the approved accommodation or the reasons an option cannot be provided. After the accommodation begins, follow-up ensures it is effective and that no retaliation occurs. Adjustments may be made if needed. Managers play a central role in supporting employees. They must understand how to recognize sincere beliefs, engage respectfully, stay neutral in public spaces, and document every step. Recognizing sincerity means listening without judgment. Sincerity is based on the employee's personal commitment, not the manager's familiarity with the belief. Managers collaborate with HR and employees to identify reasonable accommodations that meet both religious needs and business operations. In public-facing workplaces, managers must stay neutral. They should not appear to endorse or promote religious beliefs on behalf of the company. Accurate documentation protects both the employee and the employer. Managers record the request, the options discussed, and the reasons for the decision. Maria requests a day off for a religious holiday. HR acknowledges the request and meets with her and her manager. Together, they review possible shift swaps and find an option that keeps the department fully staffed. The accommodation is approved in writing and HR checks in afterward. Jamal explains that he must wear a head covering for religious reasons. HR acknowledges his request and meets to understand the job requirements. Safety rules apply only in kitchen areas, so Jamal may wear his head covering in customer areas while using protective gear in food prep zones. This is approved in writing and reviewed later. Understanding religious discrimination and accommodation helps ensure fairness, respect, and legal compliance in the workplace. Thank you for watching.